This is a quick look at the finished project. To be able to make a table base from free discarded wood and give the wood a new life, this was one of my best feel-good projects. I hope you enjoyed the video. Look what I scored. Got some wood for free. It's packing material from the factories. Obviously they break at the knots and they throw them out. So some nice. Some of them are nice long bits. So right, I plan on making table ends out of these. The old barn style with the big thick legs and the cross in the centre. So this should get the base of the table out of these pieces. I'll laminate them together and make nice chunky bits. Hopefully it'll come out alright. But it cost me nothing, so it'd be nice to have a bit of a play. Hopefully it'll come out alright and I'll put a top on it. Alright, this is the first bit I've got to do. We want to get nice lengths so we can see what we're actually working with. So we'll cut these knots off. So we're going to a blunt end on both ends. Like, that's no good to me. We'll cut it off and then we can really see what we've got. If it's splintered on the other end, I'll cut him down and we'll end up with pieces. Now on that, I've got a second little project I'm working on, in which case I want the knots and about 6 inches of wood. So on a piece like that that's not much good to anything, I'll take the knot. Once I've got a nice little cut on that so he looks pretty good, I'm going to measure down 6 inches, which is actually to the outside edge of that lip there. So nice and simple, just has to be rough. That's for another job in the future once I get enough of them. So anyway, for now we go. Oh, and anything off these, like, that's no good to me, so that's going to go in the fire. So it'll keep us warm for the winter. So here's our wood. That's my load, and I had a few little bits and pieces laying around here. So they're cut, they've got good ends, so I'm not throwing too much away. All the throwaway bits are down there, and these fellas. Now I'm going to run them through the saw bench, square up the edges on them. Right, so this is what I mean on running it through the saw. I'll bring the fence in, but we're just going to knock this outside edge off and make him nice and smooth. So I'll be purely knocking off about 1.5 mm from that side, 1.5 mm from the other side. Then I'll flip him over and line the saw bench up, and I'm going to do the same on the edge. Knock about 1.5 mm off each side. And we should have a nice square block as if it was run through a thicknesser. Should have. It'll be close enough. It'll do what we want to do. Can't beat a thicknesser though. One day I'll own a thicknesser. nice dressed timber now. So now we can start putting this thing together. It come up pretty good. They all squash together. So there's not a lot of sanding afterwards. Right. I'm making the legs of an outdoor table. So we'll just picture the top. That'll be about 1100 wide. And our legs will sit in just a little bit. Tape it down. Come up about here. Something like that. Well, there's 65 in height. Then we'll come in just a bit. I'll have a couple of legs down. And that'll come down. So the table looks something like that. There'll be a board across, come out here. Just a nice neat 45-degree angle down. Back. Up a bit, 45, and we'll put some feet on it, just about 20mm thick. And the feet on this side, just sit out. So all this wood at the top is actually pine, so it's soft. So we'll put a hardwood foot on it, just to hold it up off the ground. Top, I haven't decided what it's going to be. Now we're going to have, there's 65, so that's actually one of these pieces of wood. I'll run up the side. 65. Going to have 2 in the centre. So we're 2 65s there. At the bottom we'll cut out, because there'll be a beam running between these on each end of the table. There'll be a beam running along, and we'll have him coming straight out here with a wedge, so it'll come out, there'll be a hole, and we'll whack a wedge in each end. That's after anyway. So there'll be a cross piece which will sort of take off like that and like that. So roughly what it's going to look like. Now we're going to have, so we've got the general gist of it. I'll show you with a couple of bits of wood. Right, so we get in. Here'll be the top piece. Got a piece for the bottom. That'll do. Right, so we'll go about there, 1, 2 into that. So the cross piece will just be in like that. Use up a few of our little bits. We'll sit out like that. I'll fill these in with a few bits. They'll be covered. So will these. So it'll all look nice and solid. Another piece there, there. Just like a big jigsaw puzzle. And a piece across the bottom. So that's the general look of it. So look, something like that, with bits filled in here. Should look quite chunky, and I'll bring this edge up just a little bit, so that at the bottom you got a lip. I think it looks a bit classier with a lip. Anyway, that's the plan. Cut everything to length. I haven't done the 45s. I'll cut them once I know how long they're going to be. But you've got the top pieces cut, and you've got your taper. So this is where your table would sit, on the top of this. So your planks are going to run lengthways to that, run out here. So that's your top piece. Up there, they're all cut, tapered off. I've cut a few extra bits so that because they're 3 thick, I'm going to need a piece in the middle. So just so that I can match the angle. So I did a few spares, they're only offcuts, so that's that done. So I'm all set. So 4 of them. I'll get rid of them. Right, so the base. This is the floor. So we'll have our little blocks on each side, something like that. And I've done just a standard 45-degree cut, so there's no need to worry too much from my spaces in between the two of these, because the saw's all set up to do it. Right, so he's going to go there. Uprights are cut. Doing the centre. As you notice, I've done a bit of I made these a little bit thinner, so that you can see there's a lip. Should be a nice lip on the outside. I think it'll look a bit classier. So anyway, that's the general look of the outside piece. Somewhere like that. Across here. Yeah, something like that. And then these I'll work out afterwards. But for now, I'll biscuit join these. So we've got one panel on each end, ready to go. And then everything else will just screw in from that. So I've picked the nice grain wood. That looks really neat on the other side. So that goes together nicely. So there's only really 2 sides or 2 ends that you can see how good the wood is. So that's where you want your good wood, facing the bits you can see. So you should really be around that way. The bottom's a good bit. So yep, mark out my biscuit joins. Yeah, done. And these are all the inside, so we go. That's up, up, up. Right, I'll do an arrow on there, because just in case we get all mixed up. Going to use a biscuit joiner. This is purely slides out. There's a spinning cutter there. Cuts a slot like that, and the biscuit drops in. There's a slot in the other side, matches, bit of glue, done. So I've got them on the end as well. So I'm going to cut these slots now in here. I'll grab this. Yeah, that was it. Just there. 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 A touch. 96. Under 96. We mate. Right. So on our plan, we're to have a tenon sticking out there. It'll stick out about that far. This will be a board that'll run full length like a bearer, full length of the table, passing through both ends, sticking out about that far with a wedge across that way to hold it in. So I forgot to cut the one out of these, the two I've done so far, so I'll have to do them manually. But for the rest, that'll be easier because I'll be able to do them on the table saw. So the beam I'm going to run is going to be 4 high. So I'll just put the camera down here. So it'll be 4 high. We'll go this way. So I'm thinking something like 120 high, the tenon will be, and what's that, 60, so we'll go, yeah, we'll go 50-ish. Make it a nice chunky tenon. Right, so this, so in theory, what that'll be is 25mm in there, up 120 and across down 25, and that would be the centerpiece of the table. Be nice and easy to cut because I can do most of these on the table saw because we're joining two, and we end up with our hole. Once I get the hole in two, I'll be able to sit it on the top of these, draw the inside edge, and these ones will be the same size then when I cut them out. Yeah, so what we've got, this saw blade's going to take out just what we want, 25mm from there to there. Now we need a stop for the depth, which is going to be 120, which is there. Now these are real important measurements because these are the only ones that the boards we cut at the first go are the only ones we should need to do. I've put our stop block there, that's nice and solid, not going to go anywhere. I've got the blade up a high so that it'll cut most of what we want. So, and we're going to slide it in, hit that, and then pull it back out. So that's the plan of attack. That'll be 120. That'll be nice. Rightio. So as you can see, the yelling with my earmuffs on, the saw blade has got the curve, so we're getting there on the back, cutting further at the front, 120 at the front. Once we do a cut up here, we'll just hand saw it down. So that's our test piece. That looks really good to me, so we'll do that. So all I've got to do is line the line up with the edge of that. Make sure these are level there. We should have it cut nicely. So we have our cutouts. You can see the curve of the saw. I came through on the saw, that was the angle of it. I've now run it across on the saw just on the right depth. Well, not quite the right depth. I'll just run the chisel down that, that'll be nice and flat. And we'll have that's our cutout, which will be transferred to that. I'll just draw around the inside edge and chisel that out. Slide that in there. Nice. As I said before, we wouldn't have to do this if I had remembered. Feels pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's what we're going to get rid of. Right, so I put a bit of wood underneath. It's got one at the top there too to keep it all level. Now remember, we're taking this pencil line off. I'm just planning on drilling a couple of holes, and I'm going to rip a bit of this out with a jigsaw. Half enough. Got my great head in the way of the camera. Let's get back the other way. Beautiful. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Right. So now we've got to find out the centre for our crosses. 75. Oh, that's nice and easy. 35. 2, 5. That's it there. And that join is the centre the other way. So let's go on here. Draw a line down there. And we'll go here. Draw a line that way. Now, these are 65, so it's 32.5. Get a better ruler. 32 and a half. That's about there. 65 there. 32. 5 there, 65 there. That's going to be the top edge of the board. That'll be the bottom edge of the board. The other ones, that's going there. This is all, if it turns out to be 45, it looks alright. Looking at it now, it mightn't look good. So we had a 45 board running through, it'd sit like that. Gee, I don't know. So he's going to come out there and there. So it's something like that. So turn him around. .45 is a great angle to be cutting. Just works. It's really good. So no, we're going to go with that. So we've got similar size on each corner. This will come together alright. Quite pleased with that. Nice thick gut, yeah. And these will be filled in. So there's little pieces in there. Ah, good. Well, yeah, we'll go with that. Just so we don't mess up, we'll mark both sides. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Swing him around. Fit there. How's it? Turn him around. see how the screws go in. I just put a dab of glue, there's nothing. This isn't too silly. That's pretty good. Center. That's good enough to me. That's fella. No one can see these, so it doesn't matter about the screws. Beautiful. Go straight up the other end. Pretty good to me. That's pretty good to me. I might do. $71.75. 175. 175. 2, I reckon. Maybe 177. 177. Screws. Slide down. Like a screw in here. Might do is the top bit up there. Would be really nice. Yeah, short one. Pretty cool. Across that way. Do 36 and a half. 36 and a half. Mighty beautiful. Right, so that's it. Right, so we'll turn this around. So he's going to fit in there. Almost the right size. He's the right size. That'll do me. Right. So get him on a bit of an angle. I'll put it on the inside. Yeah, so we got 55. So that's 50. Puzzle. Well, we cut this angle, did a few extra bits so I don't have to worry about it later. Right. There we are. See, I'm just going to take it back that way. Very nice. That'll do very nicely. Pretty good. Right, this is our other piece we made when we made these ones. Looks pretty good to me. About there on that angle. Yep. Yeah, well, it'll do. Right. That piece is done. Now we'll turn it around. Right, try this bit. I like knots, they look pretty cool. Right, so we're just going to knock these two corners off. 50. So, yeah. 50. 50. Oh, it's a bit different than the other one. 50, 50. Yeah, there's that one. Alright. What's next, don't you? Right, nice and solid. Clear the bench off so we don't have anything under there. The underside of this is the good bit. So this is, in theory, in under the table. You'll be looking at this. So